Good morning, you badass, beautiful creature, you. How are you? It's Tiger Tuesday at the slightly later time of 20 to 12, but Tiger Tuesday nonetheless. And I can't lie, I am full on fizzy today, and I have got so much that I want to share with you. And today's theme of Tiger Tuesday is going to be the switch between overwhelm to overjoy. And we're going to be talking about creativity, and we're going to be talking about play. Now, I have been going through recently what can only be described as a metamorphosis. And like with all transformations, it's really interesting, isn't it? When you look back through your life, when you look back, I've been looking back this morning at some videos that I've done, looking back at my YouTube page, looking back at earlier person things and posts and videos that I have done. And I sometimes look at those things and I think, I don't even know who that is. Do you ever get that? Do you ever go through a photo album, or you're looking back at pictures of yourself and you think, who the hell is that? Oh my goodness, I remember being that person. And this has been like a real cathartic thing for me, because I think so often we are so looking at where we're not that we forget how far we've come. We forget. And so the invitation for you today, and we're going to be talking about this a bit today, is how you go from overwhelmed to overjoyed. And it's very, very simple. There's just like one thing. There's just one thing that you need to do. And I kind of onto that. So I'm going to take you back a little bit in time. So for anybody, by the way, who is new to me, hi, my name's Rachel. I'm the founder of Lala Tigers. I run programs that teach purposeful, courageous, conscious living to parents and children, intentional parenting, if you like. And my superpower is taking very complex subjects that I talk on a high level with parents, because I am an NLP practitioner and a hypnotherapist. I'm deeply spiritual, and I have lots of roots and experience within trauma. But I take very complex situations or ideas and I put them into music and play and creativity for children. And there's a reason why I do that as well, which I'm going to come on to. But I'm going to take you back, because back in, I think it might be 6 years now, when Lala Tigers was literally just a thought in my head, there was a moment when I just had no idea. I remember I was doing my NLP and hypnotherapy training, which incidentally is where I met one of the most beautiful humans who actually is a contributor in the Raise a Tiger program. She is a specialist in EFT, which, if you're not familiar with that is a little bit like acupressure for children. It helps children, gives them children tools. I'm tapping. If you've heard of the tapping solution, it gives children the most incredible way to manage trapped emotions. And all creativity and joy and play is about unexpressed emotions. The reason why you're not in your creativity is because you have unexpressed emotions. You are trapped. You are trapped in overwhelm. You're trapped in fear. You're trapped in a circle. And when, sorry, this story is going to go round and round in circles, because I'm not slightly ADHD. I am as ADHD as they come. So I think in circles and I think in colors. The linear thing, not so good for me. But I promise you, it will all make sense in the end. So I was looking back at this post where I just had this pencil drawing of a tiger, and I was just going, yeah, I need a tiger with a halo, and I don't really understand what it is. And I'm sitting in this NLP practitioner course, and we were encouraged to write down where we wanted to be in 5 years. What was our plan? What was our goal? And I wrote down that I would have an online program. I wrote down that I was a TEDx speaker. I wrote down that I had won awards for my work. I wrote down that I would impact 200,000 children. And the reason why I'm mentioning this today is because when I looked at that post, I had this huge realization that frightened, lost, overwhelmed woman that I was before, that made a decision, and we're going to talk about that today, that made a decision that I was going to change my life, that made a decision that I was going to use everything that I could to help other women, that I was going to use everything that I could to help my children, to help other people's children. That decision led me, when I look back at all of those achievements that I said that I was going to make, every single one of them has come true. Every single one. I checked my DistroKid today. So if anybody's not familiar with DistroKid, so I release music on Spotify and Apple and all of the major providers, which you can go and find, by the way, for free. My gift for you. Obviously, they don't have any of the NLP workshops and the stuff that we do inside the program, but the music is there for your pleasure. And today, my songs have impacted 539,889 people. 500,000. Can you even imagine? And this is the power of our thoughts. It's just a thought in my head 6 years ago. Now I'm a TEDx speaker. I won the Creative Play Media Awards last year for one of my programs. I'm not saying this to big myself up. What I'm saying is that when you make a decision and you shift from overwhelm into overjoyed, that commitment that you make to yourself, when you decide to put your big girl pants on and you decide that you want to make change, because those are the people that work best with me. People find me when they are ready for change. They know that the pain of staying where they are has become so intense that they need something to change. Those are the people that get the most transformation from the people that from the work that I do in both the Fear to Fierce experience and the Raise a Tiger program. However, I also have clients that are already into personal growth and they get it about subconscious programming. They get it and they just want to do the best thing for their children. So I have two kinds of clients that work really, really well with me. But this decision that you are no longer going to stay where you are, what's really interesting is it's the power in that energetic moment. This is what that does, is it opens things up. And I want to talk today about creativity and play, because when we talk about play, the thing that comes to mind for me, correct me if I'm wrong, is fun. And I was thinking today, when do we lose that? Do you know, like at 5 years old, we are really happy to go to Asda in our Spider-Man outfit, like if you're a boy, you know, or princess dress. And can I just say, I am really happy to go to Asda in my Spider-Man outfit or princess. I've actually reached that level where I actually do not give a rat's ass. And I cannot begin to tell you how freeing that is and how much I want that for you, how much I want for your children. To be able, like, I'll dance in Asda. My kids are like, Mum, what are you doing? I was like, I don't care. It's amazing, right? That level of freedom, there was no way that I would have done that before. And the thing that stops us getting into that level of play, right, it just comes down to one thing. It's fear. And all fear is a thought in your head trying to keep you safe. And what I know for sure is if you want to change your life, if you want your child to live a life of personal freedom, you are going to have to get really, really comfortable with fear. And you are going to want to get comfortable with change. Because if you change nothing, nothing will change. But if you want your life to change, it does mean that then you are going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. All growth happens outside your comfort zone. All of it, which means you're going to have to step out of your bubble, and all of the fears, they always say new level, new devil, all of the fears that surface every time you expand into a new area. Honestly, like the fear that I had to go and sing in a recording studio, I was scared out of my wits. Now, I'd been running music sessions for 5 years by that point, and like, who the hell was I to write these songs? Who the hell was I to think that I could do any of these things? All of these shame gremlins kicked in. And I look back and I think it's quite laughable now, because I look back and I just think it's like nothing now. But at that time, that expansion from Going from singing Wheels on the Bus in a village hall to writing my own songs, recording them, putting myself out there, like learning tech, showing up on here, all of these things, the gremlins show up every single time. And the thing that helps me the most, and I'm sharing this because I really genuinely want it to help you, is when we shift into the energy of play. Now, all emotions have frequency. Joy is the highest frequency that there is. And when we're in childhood, this joy, the joy is unbound. The personal freedom that we have is unbound. But then what happens is society, we go to school. We're told how we have to behave. We're told that we should do this, we should do that. Oh my goodness, the word should just be banished from the dictionary, in my humble opinion, because as soon as we say the word should, it implies guilt, it implies burden, it implies heaviness. Like even the word should feels heavy. It's like, oh, I want to do that, but I should do this. Like it even just gives me a sinking feeling just thinking about it. And then when we move into play, when children are in play, when children are in creativity, there's no mistakes. You can't get it. You can't get play wrong. Am I right? Play is the ultimate expression of freedom. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. There is just the complete and unadulterated expression of your inspiration. And let's just get into that word for a little bit today, because as an NLP practitioner, I'm really interested in the power of words. When we look at the word inspiration, inspired, it comes from the words in spirit, which means this formless piece of energy, this which I believe thoughts are, by the way. I believe that we're all like antennas. We're like an instrument. And the cleaner your instrument, by the way, the clearer the message. That's all I'm going to say. It's why like green smoothies, exercise, breath work, ice baths, not completely vegan, but loads and loads of vegetables my end, right? And the more I do these things, the clearer my intuition, the clearer I have access to my inner voice, the clearer my creativity. So I'm digressing. In spirit, thank you, Wayne Dyer, by the way, for this. So I learned this from Dr. Wayne Dyer, who I'm a huge fan of. When you are inspired, it is like you are energized. It's like something comes through you and you really just become a channel. So when I first wrote the Raise the Tiger program, at the time, I discovered that music was going to reach children, or my children, certainly. So I had a child that was dissociated. He struggled with following instructions. There was a lot of hyperactivity. There was a lot of meltdowns. There was a lot of rage. There was a lot of control. There was a lot of perfectionism because of the situation that we had come out from. However, and this is purely by chance. I love how life happens. Purely by chance, I discovered that music would reach my children where words fail. Right? I was trying to get my kids out to school one day, and school runs were always an absolute nightmare for us, always. And when I dig into it, I understand that my child was trying to control things. I was understanding that my child actually wanted to stay with me, does not necessarily want to go to school. Like, there's a whole load of things which I go into in our Raise the Tiger program, actually, and that we dig into. However, if you think that all of those moments of disconnection, all of those moments are your biggest opportunities for growth with your child, when you change that perception. So instead of just like, I was smashing my head up against a brick wall and I was just repeating myself over and over, could you put your shoes on? Right? And then one day this song came on the radio and my kid just started singing it. And in that moment, wow, this is where I had the penny drop that led to the work that I do now, led to my TED Talk, that led to the Raise the Tiger program, is that I realized that if I could take the stressful moments and I could use music, so I was a musician writing songs since I was 5, that I could reach my children. I started taking all of those stressful moments and turning them into fun, love, and connection. And the invitation is for you to think about how you can do that too. Because it's like there's a speech by Al Pacino in, is it The Whole Nine Yards? Or there's a, I can't remember the name of the film, but he does this speech where it says, the inches are all around you and we're going to claw it back, right? And I kind of see my parenting and my life as that, because we are so disconnected. Screens have brought so much disconnection. So in my mind, I was thinking I can use screens to help parents connect with their children. I can use joy and play to help parents connect more with their children. Connection is the lifeblood of everything that we do at La La Tigers. And music and play, this is why we're called La La Tigers, right? La La, obviously a little bit crazy, but music and play and tigers. Inner strength, fierce, knowing yourself, personal freedom, courage, self-belief, confidence, all of the gorgeous, juicy things which you want for your children, which, by the way, all come from ways of thinking and feeling. That is all it is. Ways of thinking, ways of feeling that creates a presence, that creates an energy, that then shapes our actions and interactions with everything that we do in our lives, in our parenting, with our children. You then take the power of music and play. And music, let's just talk about music for a little bit, because music goes straight into the unconscious mind and it stays there forever, right? It's why you don't remember anything that your parents told you when you were 3 or 4. But if I asked you to sing a song from your childhood, not only would you remember all of the words, but it would probably evoke memories, smells. And I know also that once that, like, the song comes on the radio 30 years later, you know all of the words. It is in. There's a reason why we use music to teach the alphabet. If you think about the alphabet for one moment, the alphabet is 26 consecutive letters. There is no context. There is no story. It is a particularly complex piece of information for young children to grasp. And yet you put that into the vehicle of a song. Not only can you learn that at age 2, 3, 4, but you can recall it 30, 40, 50 years later. It's in. Because music acts like a Trojan horse. It bypasses what we call the critical factor, which is it's like our filter. If you think about hypnosis, actually, so as a hypnotherapist, I would relax adults to a theta brainwave state in order to access their subconscious mind. However, when you are in a highly relaxed state, so let's say you're meditating or you are in a highly relaxed state, you can actually slow your brainwaves down to something called a theta brainwave state, which is where children before 7 are in. Naturally, before age 7, children are always in a theta brainwave state. Now, this is a hyper learning phase. It's actually essential for our survival, but it means that absolutely everything that is being suggested to us, around us while we're in that theta brainwave state is going straight into the subconscious mind and being accepted as fact. Okay, this is all happening before age 7. You then add in music. So you add in music and the power of play. What that does is that supercharges the learning that's going in. So Dr. Karen Purvis, the late Dr. Karen Purvis from the Child Development Institute, she found that actually joy and play were really, really important when teaching children, because it takes 400 repetitions to form a new synapse in your brain, but only 12 when it is done with a feeling of joy and safety. So you add in joy, safe connection with a loving parent or caregiver. Add in music, which is going to go straight into the subconscious mind. And then you can start to see how music is not only a great tool for increasing connection, which is essential for the emotional security of children anyway, but it's also absolutely pivotal in sowing little karmic seeds, all the information that you want your children to know and understand. You put it into music. And it's not to listen to the music isn't enough. There has to be like actions and interaction between you and your, like, this is why the music workshops that I run in Raise a Tiger program, it's not like I'm teaching your children music. That's not how it works. I give you fun workshops to do together that are awesome, because actually you are the secret ingredient. You are the secret ingredient for your children. You are the secret ingredient. Your connection is actually the thing that is going to supercharge that learning and make it go in so much quicker and make it stay. Does that make sense? You don't remember all the words of books that your parents read you. Maybe you might remember one or two. You remember all of the songs. And so once I realized that I could use music and play to get my children to put their shoes and coats on in 5 seconds, and I could switch fear, stress, control, and into fun, love, connection, and play, I saw how quickly that shifted things. Not only did it create so much fun and connection in our mornings, my children actually started looking forward to the moments that had previously been so stressful. They started running to get their shoes in the morning. They were like, come on, and it meant that instead of me going off to school, dropping them off at school with that kind of disconnected, stressful moment, I go skipping off to work knowing I've nailed it. My children skip into school knowing that we've had this fun, love, and connection. And it was in this moment that I realized, I'm coming back to inspiration, by the way. It was in this moment that I realized that if I could teach them shoes, coats, teeth, separation anxiety, bedtimes, if I could teach them that love really is the answer to every single question, which is really the foundation and the basis of my entire program. The transformation of fear-based thinking into love-based thinking, into love-based frequency. If I could do that with all the stressful moments, which is what we cover in the first part of my program, what else can I teach them? I can teach your children to love themselves. I can teach your children how to manage emotions. I can teach your children how to trust in their body's wisdom and intelligence. I can teach them how to calm their nervous system. I can teach your children how to trust in their inner vision, in their imagination. I can teach you and your child how to notice fear-based thinking when it shows up in your life. And this is the overwhelm. The reason you're in overwhelm is because you just haven't stepped into creativity. You haven't been able to shift from that fear-based thinking into joy, play, and creativity. Because once that happens, I can't remember who I saw. So it might be Alex Hormozy, and he was saying sadness, and I really resonate with this. Sadness is just the idea that you don't know the answer. So you're in sadness and you're wallowing and you are languishing in overwhelm, which is fear-based thinking, because you're not taking any action and you're going round and round in circles. And I know you know this. I know you've been here, right? You're in the washing machine of doom where nothing is possible. Okay. And then you start that thinking generates an emotion, which then generates the paralysis of whatever it is that fear brings up for you, procrastination, self-sabotage, all of those things. It's just because that there is an idea that you haven't had yet. Okay. Creativity is our children's biggest superpower. And yet we funnel them into school. We shove them through the mincemeat machine, into the sausage making machine, and we tell them what to think and we tell them what to feel. And yes, education is important. I'm not saying that education is not important, like in any way, shape, or form. However, the stripping away of anything that's imaginative, the arts, is a real problem in our school. Rishi Sunak saying he's going to bring in more maths. Our children don't need more maths. Our children are going to be facing things. I can't even imagine what our children are going to be facing. What is going to be required is a generation of children who can trust in their inner vision, who can come up with innovative and new ideas, new ways of doing things, because the way that the world is working right now is broken. We need new thinkers. We need people who are going to embrace change. We are going to have to embrace some serious changes. Quite often, some of these are going to have to come really fast. Hello, cat. And inspiration only happens when we as a vessel are ready and open to creativity. It happens when we make the decision that we are going to step out of fear and we are going to move into creativity and joy and play. And that is where ideas come. That is where we are free to express. That is where we are open and receptive. I always say I didn't write the Raise a Tiger program, because obviously not. I know I did write the Raise a Tiger program, but I always feel that so much of it was delivered to me. I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd be meditating and I'd have a notebook next to the bed, and I would have all of these ideas pinging in about ideas for songs and how I could do this and how I could do that. And this is what happens when you're in flow. This is what happens when you're in play. You watch your children. You sit down with a crayon. Like, is there a prescription for what you're going to draw? I mean, there's colouring in, and then there's free flow drawing. There's free play. This is the magic of play. And this is why we bring it into the Raise a Tiger program. Of course, there's coaching. Of course, there's support. And a lot of it in there is for you as a parent. But the play and the music and the frequency of joy, the lessons that we can teach your children, that I can teach your children, that you can teach your children about who they really are, that's going to allow them to show up free-flowing, creative, inner trust, courage to be themselves, is priceless. There was a lot today. So that's me. That is all I wanted to talk about today. And I want you, sorry, my cat's coming in. I want you to think about how you can shift from the energy of overwhelm and into play. And I also have to say, so I'm really, really excited. I've never done this before. So I'm going to be opening up a new round of the Raise a Tiger program in September. Okay. So I'm opening up for just 20 people at 50% off. I've never done this before. It feels really exciting. The reason I'm doing this is because I am wanting to expand. So my vision that I had for impacting 200,000 children has now changed. My new vision is to impact 5 million children. And I'm going to do that in a variety of ways. Obviously, my songs are still going to be going out there. I'm going to be looking at impacting schools. And I really want to bring back, I've been talking a lot about my high-end coaching program, which is the Fear to Fierce experience, which is still by far and away the most transformational program that I offer. However, I am very aware that there are a number of people out there that really could benefit from my work. And so the Raise a Tiger program is for you. If the Fear to Fierce experience, which is my high-end program, is too expensive or not right for you at this moment in time, the Raise a Tiger program is a really good place to start. Now, normally this is £99 a month, and I'm going to be opening this up for 50%, which is going to be £49 a month for 12 months, or you can pay a one-off investment of £499. If this speaks to you and you would like to be one of those 20, because I'm not going to do it again, once those 20 are in, the price is going to go back up. Please reach out to me, drop me a DM at lala_tigers_official, which I am on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Lala Tigers. You can email me at raar, R-A-A-R, at lalatigers.com. You can drop a comment underneath this on Facebook. Find a way to reach me, because once those 20 places have gone, they've gone. And if you are unaware of what the Raise a Tiger program is, it is a completely all-encompassing, as Michaela Linden says, it's the most conscientious and all-encompassing program she's ever had the pleasure that she will ever likely do or need. We cover literally everything from how to connect with your children, how to increase, how to improve, how to introduce your values, to give you a compass to help you and your child navigate any situation you come across with grace and ease. We build connection. We help you navigate all of those difficult, tricky, sticky moments. We teach your children self-awareness of their body, of their thoughts, of their feelings, how to manage them, help you manage challenging emotions and behavior in ways that feel awesome. We help you build an everlasting bond with your child based on music and play. We teach them powerful strategies for happy living, for happiness, for trust, for courage, for self-belief, for purpose, all of the things that you and your child need to live a wholehearted, purpose-filled, joy-filled, happy life. That is what the Raise the Tiger teaches to everybody who takes part. So whether you're an early educator, if you are, please get in touch. Whether you're a parent, and of course, then we have the music and play that introduce these high-level concepts that we talk about on our coaching sessions to your children in a way that they can understand and remember forever. So I'm going to leave that with you today. Thank you so much for listening all the way through. If you got this far, epic. Think how you can turn things into power of play today. And that starts with your decision that you're no longer going to live in fear, that you're no longer going to go around in circles. And if you would like to join Raise a Tiger, I'm waiting for your call. Have questions, you can book a free call with me. You can come and find out more about it, see if this is suitable for you. I will see you next Tuesday. It never gets old, does it? I'll see you next Tuesday. Stay fierce. You're gorgeous. Human.